Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ahmad Jayan Ramadhani, and this course is extensive reading. So today I want to presentation about my extensive reading weekly journal. So let's begin the presentation. The name of strategy reading is pre-reading, skimming, and scanning. While reading, annotation and highlight, pause, and last, pause reading, summarize. Story number 1: The Ants and the Grasshopper. One bright day in late autumn, a family of ants were bustling about in the warm sunrise, drying out the grain they had stored up during the summer. When a starving grasshopper has his fiddle under his arm came up and humbly begged for a bite to eat. "What?" cried the ants in surprise. "Have you stored anything away for the winter? What in the world were you doing all the summer?" "I didn't have time to store up any food." "Why, the grasshopper, I was so busy making music that before I knew it, the summer was gone." The ants shrugged their shoulders in disgust. "Making music, were you?" they cried. "Very well. Now dance." And they turned their backs on the grasshopper and went on with their work. There's time for work and a time for play. What I learned from the text, pre-skimming and scanning. The story is about the different ways ants and a grasshopper prepare for the winter season, while annotation and highlight. The grasshopper prioritized making music over gathering food, leading to his starvation when autumn ended. For summarize, the main lesson is that there's a time for work and a time for play, emphasizing the importance of planning and responsibility. Problems in comprehending the text, pre-skimming and scanning. It was initially unclear why the grasshopper was humbly begging until the context of his lack of preparation was revealed. While annotation and highlight, some descriptive traits such as bustling about or drying out the grain required closing reading to understand the ants' specific actions. For summarize, differentiating between the literal act of dancing and the ants' figurative sarcasm in their final response. How the strategy facilitates my comprehension. Pre-skimming and scanning allowed for a quick identification of the characters and the setting, while annotation and highlight helped track the grasshopper's accused versus the ants' industrious behavior. For summarize, enabled a clear extraction of the moral of the story regarding work ethic. New vocabulary. Number 1, bustling or moving or acting with a great deal of energy or noisy activity. Number 2, humbly, in a way that shows a modest or low estimate of one's own importance. Number 3, stored, kept or accumulated created something for future use. Number 4, disgust. A feeling of repulsion or strong disapproval aroused by something unpleasant. Number 5, salad. Reset on shoulders slightly and momentarily to express doubt, ignorance, or indifference. Literal and inferential question. Number 1. When did the ants dry their grain? My answer is in late autumn. Number 2. What was the grasshopper carrying? My answer is a fiddle. Number 3. What did the grasshopper beg for? My answer is a bit to eat. Number 4. When did the ants store their food? My answer is during the summer. Number 5. What was the grasshopper doing all summer? My answer is making music. Number 6. How did the ants react to the grasshopper? My answer is they shuddered in disgust. Number 7. What did the ants tell him to do? My answer is they told him to dance. Why were the ants bustling about? My answer is they were working hard to prepare for winter. Number 9. Why did the ants tell him to dance? My answer is it was a sarcastic way to say he should have worked early. Number 10. What is the main lesson? My answer is it was work now to prepare for the future. Next, story number 2. The Lion and the Mouse. A lion lay asleep in the forest, his great head resting on his paws. A timid little mouse came upon him unexpectedly, and in her fright and has to get away, ran across the lion's nose. Roused from his nap, the lion laid his huge paw angrily on the tiny creature to kill her. "Spare me," begged the poor mouse. "Please let me go, and someday I will surely repay you." The lion was much amused to think that a mouse could ever help him, but he was generous and finally let the mouse go. Some days later, while stalking his prey in the forest, the lion was caught in the toils of a hunter's net. Unable to free himself, he filled the forest with his angry roar. The mouse knew the voice and quickly found the lion struggling in the net. Running to one of the great ropes that bound him, she gnawed it until it parted, and soon the lion was free. "You laughed when I said I would repay you," said the mouse. "Now you see that even a mouse can help a lion." Achilles is never wasted. Achilles is never wasted. What I learned from the text: pre-skimming and scanning. The story involves an unexpected interaction between a very large predator and a very small prey. While annotation and highlight, despite his size, the lion was generous enough to spare the mouse, and later that same mouse saved his life by gnawing through a net. For summarize, the central theme is that Achilles is a never wasted, and even the small can have the powerful. Problem in comprehending the text. Pre-skimming and scanning. Quick reading might overlook the reason the mouse ran across the lion, while alternation and highlight. Understanding technical terms like toys or partner in the context of the hunter's net. Pause summarize. Connecting the lion's initial amusement at the mouse promise to his eventual realization of its trust. How the strategy facilitates microprehensions. Pre-skimming and scanning quickly establish the power dynamic between the two main characters, while annotation and highlight focused attention on the specific actions of the mouse that led to the lion's freedom. Post summarize helped synthesize the events into a universal moral about the value of kindred. New vocabulary. Number one, timid, showing a lack of courage or confidence, easily frightened. Number two, roasted, kissed to sleep or moved from a state of inactivity. Number three, reply, to do something for someone as a way of showing thanks for a favor. Number four, toils, used here to refer to a net, snare or trap used to catch something or something. To catch someone or something. Number five, gnaw, bit or nibble at something persistently until it moves away. Literal and inferential questions. Number one, where was the lion sleeping? My answer is in the forest. Number two, what did the mouse run across? My answer is the lion's noise. Number three, what did the mouse promise? My answer is to repay the lion someday. Number four, what did the lion feel about the promise? My answer is he was amused. Number five, how was the lion caught? My answer is in a hunter's net. Number six, how did the mouse free him? My answer is she ignored the ropes. Number seven, what did the mouse say at the end? My answer is even a mouse can have a lion. Number eight, why did the lion let the mouse go? My answer is he was feeling generous. Number 9, how did the mouse find the lion? My answer is she recognized his angry roaring. Number 10, what does the ending teach us? My answer is no act of kindness is ever wasted. Okay guys, maybe that's all about my presentation. So I'm so sorry if I made any mistakes